back to my channel. My name is Hannah and I am excited to talk about some of the books that I have read in the past week or so, and let's jump into that. So I'm not quite sure how I feel about the book One Friday in April, A Story of Suicide and Survival by Donald Antrim. Now, this is a memoir. It's him talking about his experience with mental health and attempted suicide and being hospitalized for that, and it was told very honestly and very openly. And so I mean, like, writing wise, it was lovely. It wasn't a very long book, and so and he was very open with his experience. He talked a lot about his time in mental hospitals and the treatments that he received, and finally getting the courage to try ECT and the successes and setbacks with that. So it was very much an interesting look into mental health. I feel like if you suffer from depression yourself, or maybe have struggled with some of these issues, I don't know if this book will help or maybe be a little triggering. I could see how maybe it really illustrated maybe the feelings that are surrounding suicide very well, which I feel like could be very triggering. But I don't blanketly recommend this book. Some parts of it felt very relatable, but I do think that if you want to understand suicide and you want to be more compassionate and you want to understand what that feels like and what would cause people to look to that, this book would really help you, but I don't know if it's for everyone. So mixed feelings, very well done, but definitely a heavy read, even though it's a short, quick one. So for a very different one, I read Things We Lost in the Fire by Mariana Enriquez, and this was actually recommended by AJ Dunn over at AJ Dunn Reads and Writes, and I will link their channel below. Thank you for this recommendation. It was a really interesting thing. So this is a bunch of short stories, and they take place in Argentina, and they are all kind of in the horror genre. So I feel like it was really successful in that. I don't know, I've been reading some more horror lately, but it's been very young adult, kind of campy, making fun of the horror genre or like playing into the tropes. And this was more like original horror. You leave feeling very unsettled. So each of the stories is very different, but they take place in Argentina. You can see a lot of maybe political commentary on different problems with like government corruption and drugs and people missing and all sorts of things that happen in the setting. And I feel like it might be an interesting read for the societal commentary aspect. But as horror stories go, they were really successful. Like, I think it was really well done for what it was. All of the stories left me feeling very unsettled, but weren't just gratuitously gory or gross, but just were very creepy. And so I thought it was really well done. I just don't know if this kind of book is for me. I don't know if I like quite as much of horror as this was, but if you like that, I think you'd be interested in this book. There's just the thing that just wasn't for me, I think, was there were too many like creepy little kids in this, and I don't know what that is. It's like creepy kids or kids in dangerous situations. Just, oh, it's just, I mean, I'm a mom. I love my kids, and the thought of them in a dangerous situation or like creepy versions of them, like that, just, it's over the line of what I'm comfortable with. But if you like horror, I could really see you liking this. It's one of those that I really would like to read, maybe more set in Argentina, because I feel like that is something that I haven't done a lot of. So if anyone has recommendations that way, I would love to hear of them, as well as this might be an interesting one to read in the original Spanish. This is a translation, so if I wasn't so creeped out, I may go back and try to read it again, but I think I'm gonna call it on this. But it was interesting. If you're into the genre, I think you would really like this. So for a light, fun, escapism type read, I read Neverwhere by Neil Gaiman, and this was just, I mean, if you read other Neil Gaiman books, very much in that same vein. I feel like he does really good, just, you know, reality, but different, you know, like it's the perfect kind of escapism with the witty banter, and it's fun. And the thing I always think with Neil Gaiman books is that I almost want to watch it and not read it. I feel like I really loved the movie Stardust. The book was fine. I loved the show Good Omens. The book was fine. This one follows, what is his name? Richard Mayhew, and he ends up kind of slipping through the cracks of society and ending up in London Below, which is a different version of London, all in like the sewers and the rooftops, and they have magic and different parts of history that have gotten stuck, and it's very magical, very escapism. But the whole time I kept thinking, oh, this would be so cute as a show. I want to watch this. But I enjoy these books for what they are. I think that they're really fun fantasy, cute, clever, and like I'm already casting the Netflix show in my head. Like if you like Neil Gaiman books, give this one a try. I thought it was cute, it was fun. It was just that right amount of like escapism, daily life, but there's a whole secret world right under our feet kind of thing. So I enjoyed this one a lot. Hey, I didn't get this one. Okay, I read Watch Over Me by Nina LaCour, and the kind of summary is that we have Mila, and she has just aged out of the foster system, and she gets this job where she goes to live on this farm and help out and teach these other foster kids. It's kind of like, I'm not really sure, like the situation's weird, and while she's there are ghosts, and they're not creepy scary ghosts, but instead it's like the ghosts of her past and the ghosts of the past of the other kids that are there, and how healing is, it's like all about healing from traumatic events and being able to face that past version of your life and what's happened to you and moving past it. So it's supposed to be a book about healing from trauma, and I feel like that's what it was, but it's one of those where I'm like, just play some slightly creepy music behind this, and this quickly becomes like a weird horror story. Like, she's on this farm. She never talks about getting paid. Are they paying her? Is she in some weird commune? They all have like, all the foster kids and the older kids all have like matching gold bracelets and stuff, but nobody will talk about them. And is it like a weird cult? And then they've got like, it's just like they all end up wearing the same kind of clothes, and like it's all provided for them on this self-sufficient farm kind of thing. And the kids don't go to a real school. They're all taught by the older people. It's, I feel like the author thought, I'm writing this idyllic, beautiful farm place where she can heal from her past traumas. But I thought, is this like not a good place to be? I kept waiting for, you know, to find out that, oh, the mom, the leader of the farm, was actually some sort of like murderer or cult leader or something. But that's not where this book was going. So I feel like I misunderstood the tone, and it kind of confused me. So I don't know. Like, I don't really recommend it. I feel like there were some good things about dealing with trauma and dealing with difficult things in your past. But then when it just came down to it, I'm like, is this the way to do it? This is just weird. Like, I'm not getting, like, how long is she gonna live on this farm? This doesn't seem like really moving past her problems. Like, I was confused about the whole purpose of this book. So if anyone's read this and found it to be really moving, let me know, because maybe I just had been reading like that horror book earlier and I had those same kind of creepy vibes going into this one, but I wasn't sure, like it just wasn't the right thing for me. Thanks for watching. As always, please leave any thoughts below. along with book recommendations or dissenting opinions. I would love to hear any thoughts below, and I will see you all on the next video.